Hi everybody!
Hello!
Welcome to this version of the NUDE News. I'm Adrienne, the Yoni nutritionist, and I am a holistic nutritionist and health coach that specializes in women's sexual health.
And my name's Krista Maria Alexi. I'm a sexologist, women's wisdom educator, and feminine embodiment coach. And today we are here to share with you another episode of the NUDE News, which is our new offering where we're sharing sex education, especially on female sexuality and health, female sexual health, in a fun and interactive and nude way.
In a nude way.
In a nude way.
And today we have a very special topic that's near and dear to my heart, which is how to have shameless and fun sex when living with an STI.
So, for those of you who are watching, hands up if you've had an STI.
Hands up if you still have an STI. I've lived with herpes, genital herpes, for I guess 17 years now, and I've had so much experience with it. I've had a period in my life where it wasn't an issue and a period in my life where it kept coming back, and now I'm at a period in my life where it's calmed down and I'm managing it and it's going really well. But this has been a pretty hot topic amongst our conversations over the past few months because of the work that we do, and so many people who live with herpes or other STDs that want to have a healthy and active and potentially kinky sex life. And we've been talking a lot about how people who live with STIs can manage this when living with an STI and share it with you.
So, I guess for the first option, let's go to the first fun option.
Okay.
That we talked about the other day.
Yeah.
We were talking with a really special person who gave us a brilliant idea on what to do when you have an outbreak, when having a herpes outbreak and wanting to be sexually active. And something that came up an idea that came up was to
Medical role play.
do a medical scene.
A medical scene.
Yeah.
He was telling us that his partner was having an active outbreak, and during the active outbreak they decided to make it fun, and he put on a rubber glove and pretended to be a doctor. And for me, this was just like I almost started drooling because I would love that, because that's, kinky kind of weird shit that I like. But also, that thought of that would just turn me on so much, because it would make me feel so comfortable and so much less ashamed of my herpes outbreaks. And so many of us who live with herpes face so much shame because of the stigma that's associated, and we're living in like this shame and fear when we live with herpes. And this kind of play, although it might not be for everybody and it may not be your cup of tea, if you do it when it's as accepted like that as it would be, as this idea is, it would just change so many people's lives who live with herpes. Just when you can accept it in yourself and accept that your partner has it and make it fun in a safe way and a playful way and a kinky way. I mean, like, way to spice up your sex life when you live with herpes. I mean, as long as you're being safe and you understand, the risks and all of those things. But like, imagine how awesome that would be for so many people and how much that would change so many people's lives.
Considering how many people are living with herpes at the moment, genital herpes.
Yeah, I think it's the percentage of, just some statistics, I think it's 11% of the population under the age of 55 of the world live with genital herpes.
11%, so what's that? One in...
I don't know.
I thought it was something like 1 in 5 in...
Yeah, let's just break down. Yes, I think it's like 1 in 5 people that live with genital herpes.
So if you've had sex with 5 people, one of them's had herpes and they probably haven't told you.
Yeah.
If I had sex with 10, probably 2.
And herpes is and can be a bit of a mystery. Like, those people could have had herpes. They may not have told you, but they may not even have known it themselves, because herpes lays dormant in your system, in your nervous system, until it's triggered, and then it comes out, and it takes certain triggers. But there are certain things that trigger it. Not everything triggers everybody. So some people have herpes and they don't even know it.
And that kind of play could also work with HPV.
Yes,
You know,
absolutely.
if you've been diagnosed with HPV, you're not really sure about how to navigate it. You know, it stays in your system for around 2 years, and you could practice safe play in this way and still have a really active, fun sex life, making a medical scene, or even being creative and finding some other scene that would work for you. So introducing kink. I mean, most of us have had some kind of kinky fantasy. Hands up if you have. 1,000 hands are going up for me. And you too. And a lot of us are a little bit scared. So a thing that you could do is try and connect in with your kink community wherever you live, and explore that further, and try and find a safe way to practice your fantasies and bring your fantasies into your sex life, especially if you're wanting to find different ways than the usual, you know, penetration leads to orgasm finish sexual experience. So that's one way you can work with having an STI or STD and still have a fun and sexy sex life. What's another way?
Well, in a recent post, I shared a very personal sexual experience where my partner and I used to use produce, which is ironic considering I'm the Yoni nutritionist, and it's, you know, it's like you are what you eat, what you put into your mouth is important, all that stuff. But we would get experimental with like some fruits and vegetables that resembled the shape of a penis, and that was really fun. So like, there's so many fun and shameless ways that you can still have an active and healthy and weird and spontaneous and kinky sex life when you live with an STI, whether it's laying dormant or it's active. So again, as long as you're being safe, there's lots of things that you can do, lots of ways that you can have foreplay in creative ways, using fruit and vegetables, using sex toys,
Using gloves,
using like feathers, and like you know, if you're into leather and bondage and S&M and stuff like that, there's ways that you can still enjoy and play when you're living with an STD and when your STD is active. It doesn't have to be a shameful experience. It doesn't have to be, as long as your partner obviously is open to it, but it can be just as fun. Those are some of my tips.
And then also from a nutritionist perspective, other things that can help when living with herpes is diet, right, to help suppress.
Yeah. So when you live with an STD, herpes, for example, is a virus. HPV also is a virus. And so with these viruses, you want to make sure that you're boosting your immune system and supporting your diet that helps to boost your immune system. So eating a lot of really whole foods, fruits and vegetables and fiber. But you really want to focus on a lot of the immune boosting foods. So a lot of vitamin A, a lot of vitamin E. So for example, sweet potatoes are really good. Red bell peppers are really good, high in vitamin C. Anything that's high in vitamin C, strawberries, citrus fruits. Eating red meat is also a really great source of vitamin A and protein. So like beef, lamb, and liver is also really good. A lot of people don't like those meats, but if you do, great. You can start incorporating them into your diet. And good fats. And a lot of supplements that you can take to help boost your immune system are echinacea, oil of oregano. You can take elderberry, vitamin C. Normally we can't get enough vitamin C from our food, so it's good to take vitamin C as an additional supplement. So you want to really try to, use these natural ways to boost your immune system if your immune system is suppressed. And there's lots of ways that you can do that through diet and nutrition. But you also want to, wellness is also really important. So like eliminating the stress as much as you can from your life, because that stress is one of the triggers of outbreaks or of viruses. It's when our immune system is suppressed and we tend to get sick when we're really stressed. Making sure you're getting enough sleep is also really important.
Yeah, and I also think having an open discussion around your status can really help. You know, it's like many things that if it's left in the shadow, then it can grow and build into something that's so much worse than it is. So practicing having the discussion, practicing talking about it, trying to destigmatize yourself and your own narrative around your status, and really practicing opening up and talking about it, and not having to live in guilt and shame and feeling shitty about your sex life. Because I've noticed, with Adrienne, just how much that can transform the experience and how it can help others to also lift up out of stigma and shame. So you're not only helping yourself, but you're helping others. I know anytime I get a chance, I talk about when I had chlamydia. It's like even though chlamydia is a totally different STI and treatable, there's still stigma surrounding STIs and STDs in general. So whenever you can, really trying to open up that dialogue.
Yeah, especially because like I know when I used to have regular sexual partners, if I had an outbreak, I would be really ashamed to talk about it, even if my partner knew that I have herpes. And it would just be like, I would just rather avoid than talk about it. But, it's not as easy for some people. But if you already have had the talk with your partner and your partner is totally okay with it and accepts it, like it's okay to talk about. You're not a bad person because you live with this. Like, it's just a virus. And as long as you're being safe and mindful of it and taking care to make sure that you're doing the best that you can with your health and protecting your partner as well, it's the best that you can do. And the first step is to talk about it. And so really bringing awareness to that and having an open discussion with your partner builds a lot of trust and deeper bonds in the relationship as well.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
So, any other ways that we can promote having sex with an STI?
Yeah, I think just
without
transferring it, without transmission, but just being. I think what you said is the most important thing. It's like you have to end the shame, destigmatize the herpes or whatever STI you have within yourself first. And when you can get to that point, when you feel confident within yourself, no matter what, even if you live with an STI or not, it makes your life so much better, especially your sex life, and it gives your partner a bit of an easier feeling because you know that you're taking care of yourself and you're confident with it and you're telling them and you're communicating that with them. But as long as you're being safe about it, there's so many great ways that you can still have a pleasurable sex life without having intercourse and with it being safe, without the risk of transmission to your partner. So many ways. And it starts with destigmatizing it in yourself, being open and honest with your partner, having the conversation, diet, taking really good care of yourself and your health.
Exploration and adventure in your sexuality, being open to try new things and explore. And I think also, while we're on the topic, opening up conversations, we've already talked a bit about kink and exploration in sexuality, finding ways to be able to have those conversations as well, and destigmatizing our kinks and understanding that the edges of our sexuality is where we flourish and where our sexuality is exciting and fun for us, and it doesn't become like Groundhog Day sex. And a lot of that involves kinky behavior and kinky sexual experiences. So a lot of those can be stigmatized. A lot of people feel guilt and shame surrounding wanting to be tied up or wanting to tie somebody up or wanting to explore breath play or blood play or role play. And I feel like
Or
medical play. So yeah, finding a way to destigmatize your fantasies and explore what your sexuality could be just by talking about it, opening up the dialogue. So
yeah, you never know if you never try.
yeah.
And it can be a lot of fun. Yeah.
So that's probably
I think that's all I have to say.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you for tuning in. If you've made it this far, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. And we hope that you enjoy a shame-free sex life with lots of fun and lots of safety and lots of love.
Much love to you all.
Mwah.
Ciao.